विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरशतश्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस श्री भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शील प्रभुपाद की जय। इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य ब्यूटी फाउंडर आचार्य सेवर ऑफ द होल वर्ल्ड शील प्रभुपाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तरशतश्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर गोस्वामी महाराज शील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगा मैया यमुना मैया की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। सामवेद गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। पतित पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकाधीश की जय। श्री श्री रुक्मिणी द्वारकानाथ की जय। श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्री श्री गौनिताय की जय। शील प्रभुपाद की जय। शील प्रभुपाद ट्रांसडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam ततो जायामुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 10, Text 42. स एवेदं जगद्धाता भगवान् धर्मरूपधृक् पुष्णाति स्थापयन् विश्वम् तिर्यन्नरसुरादिभिः। स एवेदं जगद्धाता भगवान् धर्मरूपधृक् पुष्णाति स्थापयन् विश्वम् तिर्यन्नरसुरादिभिः। स एवेदं जगद्धाता भगवान् धर्मरूपधृक् पुष्णाति स्थापयन् विश्वम् तिर्यन्नरसुरादिभिः। स एवेदं जगद्धाता भगवान् धर्मरूपधृक् पुष्णाति स्थापयन् विश्वम् तिर्यन्नरसुरादिभिः। स एवेदं जगद्धाता भगवान् धर्मरूपधृक् पुष्णाति स्थापयन् विश्वम् तिर्यन्नरसुरादिभिः। स एवेदं जगद्धाता भगवान् धर्मरूपधृक् पुष्णाति स्थापयन् विश्वम् तिर्यन्नरसुरादिभिः। स एवेदं जगद्धाता भगवान् धर्मरूपधृक् पुष्णाति स्थापयन् विश्वं स्थिर्यन्नरसुरादिभिः. माताजी. स एवेदं जगद्धाता भगवान् धर्मरूपधृक् पुष्णाति स्थापयन् विश्वं स्थिर्यन्नरसुरादिभिः. स एवेदं जगद्धाता भगवान् धर्मरूपधृक् पुष्णाति स्थापयन् विश्वं स्थिर्यन्नरसुरादिभिः. सः he eva certainly idam this jagadhata the maintainer of the entire universe, Bhagavan the personality of Godhead, Dharma Rupadrik assuming the form of religious principles, Pushnati maintains, Sthapayan after establishing, Vishwam the universe, Triyanka living entities lower than the human beings, Nara the human beings, Sura Adibhihi by the demigodly incarnations. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. He, the personality of Godhead, as the maintainer of all in the universe, appears in different incarnations after establishing the creation, and thus He reclaims all kinds of conditioned souls amongst the humans, the non-humans, and the demigods. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, incarnates himself in different societies of living entities to reclaim them from the clutches of illusion. And such activities of the Lord are not limited only to human society. He incarnates himself even as a fish, hog, tree, and many other forms. But less intelligent persons who have no knowledge of him deride him even if he is in human society as a human being. The Lord therefore says in Bhagavad Gita 9.11, Avajananti mam mudha manushim tanumashritam param bhavam ajananto mam bhuta maheshwaram. As we have already discussed in previous verses, it is concluded that the Lord is never a product of material creation. His transcendental position is always unchanged. He is the eternal form of knowledge and bliss, and He executes His almighty will by His different energies. As such, He is never subject of reactions for any of His acts. He is transcendental to all such conceptions of actions and reactions. Even if He is visible in material world, the exhibition is only of His internal energy. For He is above the good and bad conceptions of this material world. In the material world, the fish or the hog may be considered lower than the man. But when the Lord appears as a fish or a hog, He is neither of them in material conception. It is His causeless mercy that He appears in every society or species of life, but He is never to be considered one of them. Conceptions of material world, such as good and bad, lower and upper, important and insignificant, are estimations of material energy, and the Supreme Lord is transcendental to all such conceptions. The words Parambhavam or transcendental nature can never be compared to the material conception. We should not forget that the potencies of the Almighty Lord are always the same and do not decrease because the Lord assumes the form of lower animal. There is no difference between Lord Sri Ram, Lord Sri Krishna, and his incarnations as a fish and hog. He is all pervading and simultaneously localized at any and every place. But the foolish person with a poor fund of knowledge, for want of that Parambhavam of the Lord, cannot understand how the Supreme Lord can take the form of man or a fish. One compares everything to one's own standard of knowledge, as the frog in the well considers the sea to be like the well. The frog in a well cannot even think of the sea, and when such a frog is informed of the greatness of the sea, it takes the conception of the sea as being a little greater than the well. As such, one who is foolish about the transcendental science of the Lord will find it difficult to understand how Lord Vishnu can equally manifest himself in every society of living entities. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuronmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpaturubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhyev cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yatkripātamaham vande Shri Guru Dīnatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram. Hare Krishna. Krishna. I seek blessings of all devotees here so that I can speak something for all of your pleasure, for glorifying Lord and for my purification. So in this chapter, now Narad Muni, the discussion between Parikshit Maharaj and Shukadeva Goswami continuing, wherein he has detailed the 10 aspects of Bhagavatam, and like he is now going in further detail. So in today's verse, it's a very beautiful verse, is telling that the personality of Godhead as the maintainer of all in the universe appears in different incarnations after establishing the creation, and thus he reclaims all kinds of conditioned souls. So there are two important aspects Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport. First is Krishna is the maintainer, and then the second, Krishna appears in different forms to reclaim the conditioned souls. So we'll see this today's discussion in these two aspects. So first, as a Krishna as a maintainer, right? Once I heard a beautiful statement. A devotee was mentioning that a source of income is not source of our maintenance. So it's mentioning the source of our income is not source of our maintenance. So he explained that what actually maintains us. To maintain this body, what do we need? Some food to eat, prasadam, water to drink, air to breathe, right? Can any of this be purchased or created by a person, an individual living being? No. Krishna is the one who has created this nature. He is providing us with the oxygen. He is providing us with the rainwater to drink. And he is providing us with the grains. I may say I can go and purchase a pizza. But the ingredients of pizza are not manufactured in a GM factory or Ford factory. They come from earth. Can anybody has any control on that? No. Even after taking all these foodstuffs, who is digesting it? One day I am able to digest it, another day not. Why? Krishna says, Aham Vaishvanaro Bhutava, Praninam Deham Ashrita. I am the fire of digestion. So actually, Krishna is the one who is maintaining us. Everybody agrees? So our source of income, what we earn, does not maintain us. It's Krishna who is maintaining not only humans, but even animals. Elephant eats 200 pounds of, or maybe more than that, food every day. Does he go to work 9 to 5? No. Ant in some corner of house, she gets her morsel of food. Who is providing? So, many a times, being misled by so-called advancement, we forget this basic fact that actually we are being maintained by the Supreme Lord. And such purports are a nice reminder that how the personality of Godhead, He is maintainer of everyone in the universe. And this is very hope giving. Why? Because the person who is going to maintain us, he is the supreme. So we don't have to worry. Prabhupada used to, there was like many conversations, The Christians, they pray, oh God, give me bread and butter, right? So he said, why? Krishna has already provided it, right? Even if you ask, even if you don't, Krishna will provide, So that is the duty of a father, and he does to his perfect. But the more than that, as a maintainer, what is the faith giving aspect? He excuses all our nonsense, basically, whatever we do, and he always tries time and again to reclaim us. Is a nice conversation between Haridas Thakur, Sanatan Goswami, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Sanatan Goswami was traveling from Varanasi to Jagannath Puri to meet Lord Chaitanya, he happened to drink some contaminated water, because of which there were boils all over his body. And there was pus oozing, It's very painful condition even to look at. So when he arrived in Jagannath Puri, he stayed with Haridas Thakur. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to come, and Haridas Thakur and Sanatan Goswami, they never entered Jagannath temple because there are like strict so-called rules. So they used to stay at a Siddha Bakul, and Jagannath himself in the form of Lord Chaitanya used to visit them. So whenever Lord Chaitanya used to visit, he used to try and embrace Sanatan Goswami. And Sanatan Goswami used to say, no, Lord, please don't do this. My body is completely impure. It's not fit to be touched by you. That time, Lord, and he says, and then it was becoming so unbearable for Sanatan Goswami that he thinks, I'll commit suicide in front of cart. So not because of his body was bad, but because he did not wanted to inconvenience the Lord. So next day, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he said that this is my body. You cannot decide what you want. And in that conversation, there is a nice thing he mentions related to today's verse. He says, Tomare lalaya apana ke lalaka abhimana lalakera lalaye nahi dosha parijana. My dear Haridas and Sanatan, I think of you as my little boys to be maintained by me. The maintainer never takes seriously any faults of the maintained. Srila Prabhupada, beautiful purport, small, but he says, when a father maintains a child and a child is maintained by the father never takes seriously the faults of the child. Even if they actually are faults, the father does not mind them. Isn't it hopeful? So, at least I can speak for myself, full of faults, even after repeatedly telling by devotees, by acharyas, still mind goes to do same old nonsensical things. But there is a hope that our maintainer, Krishna, never gives up on us. Because if Krishna gives up on us, what is the hope? The other day, His Grace Bhagavad Prati was so nicely mentioning the pastime of Kala Krishna Das, right? He went in the trap of Bhattaharis. But apparently, to set an example, Lord rejected, but then his devotees, they engaged in his service. So, Krishna is this quality of a maintainer, that is the only hope-giving grace. And Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 9.22, he says, Ananyas chintayanto mam yejana paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yoga kshemam vahamya aham. He says, for a devotee who is constantly engaged in my service, I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. Srila Jayadeva Goswami was writing commentary on this verse. So he felt Krishna says, I. So does that mean personally the Supreme Lord who is enjoying with the gopis comes and does it? Well, no. Krishna must be doing it through his energies. So in his commentary, he put a dash on the I. He wanted to say that, Krishna carries what the devotee lack through his energies. That was what he was thinking. And then he thinks, okay, let me go to take a bath in Ganges. So he goes, and that time, his wife Padmavati Devi, she was at home. And then two boys, they come. And they were carrying all the grocery, rice, dal, milk, grains, sabjis. And they say, they were carrying such a load. And this Padmavati Devi, being a motherly, she immediately took off and she said, who are you? He said, your husband sent us with all this grocery. And not only that, you see our back, he hit us with a stick. So she was, kind of, why did he do that? You know, to such, nice, gentle boys. And there were like two boys, one bluish, black, one nice, whitish complexion. They were so beautiful. So she was also wondering why he did. And then they kept the groceries and they left. So Jayadev Goswami comes back after taking bath. And Padmavati Devi, she says, oh, why did you do that? He said, what? You sent those two boys with groceries and that's okay, but you hit them. So he was confused. No, I did not. So then she said, see, look at this grocery. And then immediately something struck to him. He immediately went and he looked at the commentary. And the scratches which he has put on eye, they were gone. So he realized actually when he scratched, when he denied that, oh, Krishna says, Aham, I personally provide what they lack, it actually hurt Krishna, So that's why, he was saying that he hit me on back. And then, just to show that the same Krishna comes and maintains devotee, they personally brought all these groceries to me. So, and Jayadev Goswami was in just ecstasy actually. Jayadev Goswami, yeah. So, this is what Krishna's promise is, that he personally will maintain his devotees. So this is, such a hope-giving statement. And continuation of that same theme, those who are forgotten of this fact, what Krishna does? He comes in different forms to reclaim the fallen souls. So reclaiming means what? I have something in my possession, I lose it, I go back and I claim this is my property, please give me back, right? So what this means, reclaiming means we all are Krishna's property. We did some mischief, we are here trying to lord over the material nature, getting kicks left and right and center. So Krishna comes and saying, guys, look, you are not supposed to be here. You are not supposed to be miserable. Come back and be happy. And how he does? He has to do so much. Just till the time, the whole material creation with this 24 element is created just to fulfill the nonsensical desire of rebellious living entities. So Krishna created this whole planetary systems, whole demigods, arrangement of everything. Why? Some Jivatma wanted to enjoy separately from him. And on top of that, he accompanies them as a Paramatma and always tries to guide. Please come back. Please come back. Please come back. So, the only purpose Krishna appears is to perform the pastimes and attract the rebellious souls. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To protect the sadhus, paritranaya sadhunam. Krishna can do it through external energy as well, right? Vinashaya cha dushkutam. Get a cardiac arrest to the demon. Demon is dead. Why Krishna has to come personally? Dharma samsthapanarthaya. Send somebody like Srila Prabhupada. They will just smash everyone. Establish religion. Why Krishna comes? These are pretext. The main intention is perform his beautiful pastimes and attract the fallen conditioned souls. Conditioned souls wants to hear politics. Krishna arranged the whole Mahabharata. Best of the politics. They want to hear, fighting. Krishna says, okay, I'll fight. I'll kill from the time I am baby. They want to hear romantic things. 16,108 relationships. Rasa dance. One night of whole Brahma. Why Krishna is doing? Just to attract. And not only in human forms, he comes as a Varahadev, Kurmadev, Matsyavatar, to attract those living entities because they are also his parts and parcels, right? So that's Krishna's merciful nature. There's a beautiful verse in 11th canto wherein all the incarnations are described. This it's very, very, very beautiful. Tyaktva sudustaraja sure sitaraja lakshmim dharmishta arya vachasa yadgada daranyam mayamrugam daitaye psitamanvadhavat vande mahapurshate charanarvindam. O Mahapurush, I worship your lotus feet. You gave up the association of goddess of fortune and all her opulence, which is most difficult to renounce and is hankered after by even the great demigods. Being the most faithful follower of the path of religion, you thus left for the forest in obedience to Brahmana's curse. Out of sheer mercifulness, you chased after the fallen conditioned souls who are always in pursuit of false enjoyment of illusion and at the same time engaged in searching out your own desire object, Lord Shyamasundar. So this is describing, of course this verse also applies to Acharya's mentioned to Lord Krishna and Lord Ram, but mainly is to Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya, when he was performing his night kirtans in the house of Srivas Thakur, one very proud Vedic Brahman, he wanted to join. So he banged the door, knock, 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 knock. But we cannot barge in the pastime of Lord. They just did not open. So he became very angry and he said, he took out his Brahman thread and he said, I curse, you will not be able to enjoy any material opulence. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, and he did not do it then. The next day when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking bath on Ganges, he met him in persons and he said, oh Nimai, you don't allow me in your kirtans, you all enjoy yourself, I curse you. Brahman thread snap. What? You will never be able to enjoy material opulence. Lord Chaitanya said, thank you. And then we know that just because few peoples were not able to understand his position when he was glorifying the love of gopis, to deliver them because they were offending, he said to Lord Nityananda that I came here to deliver these souls, but by offending me, they will not have any chance of getting liberated. But, he said, I have a plan. If I take sannyas, everybody will bow down to me. Even this atheist, they will bow down to me. And that is enough for me to give them Krishna Prem. So Lord, Tyaktva Sudrustara, he left the association of Lakshmi, his wife Vishnu Priya. He took sannyas. And Maya Mrugam Anvadhavat, he was behind the foolish people who were chasing behind the material pursuits. So as a sannyasi, he traveled all over India to delivered all these atheists and Mayavadis and Shunyavadis, everybody. Not only that, in the same incarnation when he was traveling through Jharkhand forest, we look all up. The tigers, the bears, the snakes, the deers, elephants, everybody was delivered by Lord Chaitanya. Why? He was reclaiming by his pastime. So see, Lord takes so much pain. His mother was crying constantly. Advaitacharya and all the devotees, they were ready to commit suicide because Lord Chaitanya was taking sannyas. He put his dear devotees in so much pain. Why? Just to save the foolish people. So this is the merciful nature of Lord, which is our only hope. And he performs so many beautiful pastimes which attracts us for this purpose. Day before yesterday we had Gopashtami, right? The day when Krishna was given charge of cows. First calves and after some days cows. So on the first day when he was going, Mother Yashoda addressed Krishna very nicely, Baraha Pidam Natavaravapu Karanayo Karnikaram Bibradvasam Kanaka Kapisham Vaijayantim Chamalam Randram Venum Madhara Sudayo Apuryan Gopa Vrunde Vrindaranyam Swapadaramanam Pravishad Gita Kirti. So Krishna was dressed in yellow garment. He had a nice Vaijayanti mala decorated and nice, tilak and then the peacock feather, right? And that time, Mother Yashoda also gave him a nice golden shoes and an umbrella. She said, please wear this because there are thorns and pebbles. Your leg, which is softer than butter, should not get hurt. Krishna said, I am Gopal. I am servant of cows. So as a servant cannot have more than master, I cannot have something more than what my cows have. So if you want to give me shoes, please arrange shoes for my cows. 900,000, each cow has 4 legs, multiplied by 4, 36,000, 100,000 shoes. And those many umbrellas. Mother Yashoda said, forget it. Krishna said, you forget it. I am not going to wear it. So when the cows, see in Vrindavan, all these cows, they are also, pure devotees in Shantaras, right? When they came to know that Krishna is not wearing shoes just because we don't have, what they did? Some of them, strong, stout cows, they went ahead on the path where they were about to graze and they just pulverized the pebbles, thorns of whole Vrindavan actually. They said, let Krishna come. Wherever he puts his lotus feet, it should be more soft than talcum powder. And those of us who are fortunate to be in Vrindavan in early years, we can see, especially in Ramanreti and part of, Parikrama path of Govardhan, wearing shoes is actually, inconvenient. You walk barefoot, it's such a, soft sand, right? So these cows, their love for Krishna was, Krishna is not accepting his shoes for us, we'll make sure that he is not inconvenienced. They did this, right? And then Krishna, there's beautiful pastime. He takes the cows on for grazing, and in afternoon time, he wanted to meet Srimati Radharani. But that time, she was being guarded by, Jatila, her so-called mother-in-law, right? So, that time, Krishna sent Subala to go and do something. Then Subala, his complexion is exactly like Srimati Radharani. So Subala goes and she says, Jatila, did you see a calf? I am missing one of my calf. She said, I don't know. So I did not see anything. So Subala asked, can I go and check inside? He said, yeah, you go. So Subala goes inside the house, and there are Lalita, Vishakha along with Radharani. So they were also wanted, Srimati Radharani to meet Krishna, but they were not knowing what to do. But when Subala comes, they devise a plan. They say that, okay, Radharani will dress you as a Subala, and Subala will dress you as Radharani. You be here, let Radharani go out. So they do dressing, and then since they are exactly of similar complexion, so Radharani was looking exactly like Subala, and just to make sure that, Jatila doesn't get any doubt, she carries the calf on her arm so that her, whole chest is covered. And when he goes, Jatila says, did you find calf? And, Radharani just, in the dress of Subala, she just, yes. And then she shows the calf is there, and then she just goes. And then she goes, meets with Krishna, and then Krishna says, Subala, did Radharani come? And initially just to, increase their, attraction, Radharani says, no, today it was so difficult, And then Krishna says, oh, then I cannot maintain my life today. And then Radharani just smiles, and then Krishna, he becomes so happy. And they are performing their leelas here. And after some time, Jatila comes to know, hey, there is something fishy. So she, along with Kutila, and Abhimanyu, they start chasing, where is Radharani? Where is Radharani? Let's go. So, and that time, Srimati Radharani was very, she made a nice, beautiful flower garland, and she was about to offer it to Krishna. And she hears, Jatila, Kutila, they're running. Where is Radhika? Where is Radhika? Where is Radhika? And she was, palpitating, what will happen now? So Krishna says, don't worry, just do what you are doing. So Radharani was in this offering garland to Krishna. And then Jatila Kutela comes. They see this, Radharani is offering garland. They pay obeisances, all three of them. And they say, Radharani, continue, continue. And then they go. So Radharani was wondering, hey, what happened? And she looks. Krishna had changed herself in Mother Durga, So Jatila and Kutala, they think that, actually Radharani is worshipping Mother Durga. So they say, okay, continue. But then Krishna again becomes Krishna, right? So such beautiful pastimes Krishna does. Why? Just to attract us. And Srila Prabhupada painstakingly wrote all these books, gave this, culture of Krishna consciousness for us. Why? So that we get attracted and we get again reclaimed. So to summarize, we saw that Lord is the maintainer of everyone, and that is the hope-giving factor, because He never gives up on our case, and He just devises means newer and newer. He keeps incarnating just to protect us and reclaim us. And we saw how Lord Chaitanya, he took this extreme step of leaving the devotees and taking sannyas just for the sake of fallen souls. So we'll end with one prayer. This is again the beautiful example of how Lord maintains, Agre kuruna matha pandavanam dushyasanena piritavastra kesha Krishna tadakrosha dhananyanatha Govinda damodara madhaveti. So in front there were Kurus, and aside there were Pandavas, and in between Dushyasan, he was trying to disrobe Draupadi, Krishna. Draupadi's another name is Krishna, right? So Krishna tada kroshad ananyanatha. So knowing very well that I don't have any other shelter, Draupadi, she loudly cried out, "Oh Govinda, oh Damodara, oh Madhava." And then what happens? We all know. Krishna protected her with unlimited sari. So to this beautiful, merciful, extending Lord, let's offer our obeisances and let's do our part to get reclaimed. Okay. Any questions, comments? Yes, bro. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So the question is that when Lord comes as tortoise or boar or fish, we don't see any reference of fish getting enlivened, right? Because we don't see. So actually, all spirit souls, they are Sachidananda, but they are for time being trapped in those bodies. So though they are not able to express their enlightenment, or rather, though we are not able to see that, the fact is that when Lord comes and attracts, it's naturally that they are delivered. There are many examples in scriptures, like if you hear from Padma Puran, the glories of verses of Bhagavad Gita, there are many examples wherein different animals, they are reciting verses of Bhagavad Gita. Right? What to speak of that? Lord Chaitanya same, like when there was rumors that Kazi will come and he will destroy the house of Shivas Thakur. Lord Chaitanya goes to Shivas Thakur and he was a little bit afraid. He said, if Kazi comes, I'll be the first one to go, and I'll ask Kazi, bring all these wild animals and I'll make them chant Krishna. And they'll chant Hare Krishna and they'll go into ecstasy. Then I'll call their mullah and I'll say, okay, now make them chant. And he won't be able to do that. So there also we see the proof that, if Lord wants, if If they want to express, they will be able to express. Only thing, because of the circumstances, the spirit soul in that particular body, we are not able to pursue. But no, they are for sure. If they want, or if Lord want, they can do that. Yeah. So yes, bro.
The same question, but in a different way. Uh, this planet is called Martia Lokan, the place where the human beings decide to either you go up or you go down. You made a decision as a human being. So we also know that every living entity goes step by step to eventually achieve the human form of life. That's all right too. So then, the examples that we find in the Puranas, a lot of times, like for example, the monkeys were liberated by Lord Ram, Jatayu, they have a background. They were the crocodile, serpent that Krishna liberated, the Arjuna trees, all those living entities are by incarnations of like Ram, Krishna, Lord Chaitanya. So the question remains still that I was wondering too, if there are any references in other Puranas in which neutral living entities who didn't have nothing to do with the past, that did they inquire? You mentioned a little bit about the natural tendency of, because we're Satchitananda that we have, but there's no elaborated description so that, let's say, a bird, cockroach, worms, and so on, you can go on with that, in which we only have a reference about Kurma and Varaha coming, and there are many other ones.
Yeah.
But we know also that Lord Chaitanya can do that. We know that.
Yeah.
Krishna can do that. But I was just thinking about a particular besides that.
Yeah. So actually, two things comes to my mind immediately. So first thing is that Lord pastimes are so unlimited that even Anantadev with his unlimited mouths cannot do. So there must be certain incidences wherein, as you mentioned, the other species are directing with the Lord, but because the time was limited for Shukadeva Goswami, he just gave what was the most important. Second thing, we also see, like say for example, like you mentioned that in some regions there were like Nalakuver Manigrivu, there was a history, who got delivered. But we also see that because of devotees' mercy and Lord's potency, Lord has delivered everyone wholesale. Like when Vasudeva the leper, Vasudeva that he was praying to Lord what he wants during Mahaprakash Leela. He says, I want the sin of everybody to come on me. Let me suffer and let everybody get delivered. So he says, Lord Chaitanya says, I will deliver this whole universe. Means including all fish, reptiles, everybody. Without they being, inquired or without. Why? Because one of the devotee heard this. Another incident comes to my mind is about, Narad Muni and that snake disciple, right? So now that snake must have inquired from Narad Muni, then only he must have become a disciple, right? So like this, there are certain incidences are mentioned, but as a humans, we relate more with humans. So this is my understanding that's why that part is focused more. And again, like there must be some Puranas wherein it's mentioned, but just for us in the Bhagavatam, because of the time limitations, are not mentioned in those details. So Pruji, you have something to add?
Thank you. Real wonderful class. I'm pretty sure I read recently, it might have been in this chapter, that Prabhupada made the statement that the Lord incarnates in every species, not just like Varaha or Kurma or Matsya, every species. And and to reclaim those souls. But he said it's inconceivable to human intelligence. So that's it.
Yeah.
Inconceivable to human intelligence. Don't knock your brains out.
Yes. Yeah.
Accept it and
True.
Get on with it.
Yeah, it's inconceivable. Very true. Yeah. Thank you for adding. Okay. One last pastime comes to my mind. Once Ramanujacharya, just to show the potency of Lord Prasad, so the disciples, it seems that they are taking it little lightly. So he ate Mahaprasad of Lord. He went to Pushkarni and he washed his hands. So some fish, they came and they ate the remnants falling from Ramanujacharya's hand. In front of everybody, all of them, they got 400 Vishnu forms, went back to spiritual world. So that is the potency of Lord, how he can, deliver. Okay. So Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadhish ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol.